Inside every person, there exists a battlefield that no one else can see, a silent war, a private struggle, a conflict that wears your own face. It is the war between you and your mind. You feel it every time you overthink, every time fear stops you from living, every time anxiety tells you stories that never become real, every time your past repeats inside your head long after life has moved on. And you wonder, why does my own mind fight against me? Why do my thoughts hurt me more than life itself? Tonight, Osho guides us into the core of this mystery. But before we begin, breathe softly. If this inner journey feels like home, subscribe gently. This channel exists to help you see the truth beneath the noise. Now let us enter the silence behind the war. Osho says, "The mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master." In the beginning, the mind was created as a tool to help you survive, to protect you, to analyze and understand. But somewhere along the way, the tool took control of the wielder. Your mind stopped being your instrument. It became your commander. It tells you what you should fear, what you should chase, what you should avoid, who you should be, how you should feel. You obey, not realizing you are taking orders from a frightened, conditioned, chaotic mechanism that was never meant to lead your life. The war begins when the mind forgets its place, when the servant becomes the king. One of Osho's most profound truths: your mind is not your enemy. Your mind is scared. Fear is the root of your mental suffering. Your mind fears change, uncertainty, rejection, vulnerability, silence, love, loss, death. So it constantly tries to control everything, predict the future, analyze the past, and protect you from the unknown. But in doing so, it becomes the very source of your suffering. The mind thinks protection is safety, but protection often becomes a prison. Osho teaches, the ego is afraid of your awakening, because your awakening is its death. This is the reason your mind becomes aggressive precisely when you begin to seek peace. When you meditate, it becomes louder. When you want to change your life, it fills you with doubt. When you want to love, it whispers fear. When you seek silence, it becomes chaotic. Why? Because consciousness threatens the mind's dominance. If you wake up, the mind loses control. So the mind resists, fights, creates noise, creates panic, creates distraction. Your awakening is the mind's greatest fear. Another truth Osho repeats: thoughts are borrowed. None of them are yours. Your mind is a storage room filled with childhood conditioning, inherited fears, societal expectations, parental voices, past traumas, memories of pain, beliefs you never questioned. And these fragments become the script your mind uses to narrate your life. When the mind tells you, you're not enough, you don't deserve love, you will fail. What if everything goes wrong? These are not your true beliefs. They are echoes, voices from the past still living in your head. You are not suffering the present. You are suffering your history. Osho warns, the mind is addicted to problems. Without problems, it feels useless. Have you noticed? Even on peaceful days, your mind invents something to worry about. It creates imaginary scenarios, fears of things that never happen, conflicts that don't exist, catastrophes that live only in your imagination. Because if the mind has nothing to solve, it loses its identity. You are peaceful, but your mind panics. So it manufactures noise. This is the silent war. Your peace threatens your mind's existence. Osho says, the mind cannot remain in the present. It survives only in the past and the future. The present moment is death to the mind because the mind cannot control it. So it pulls you back into yesterday and pushes you into tomorrow. It drags you away from the only moment where life truly happens. You are suffering memories. You are suffering imagination. You are suffering ghosts, not reality. The mind does not want you in the present because the present kills its illusion of control. This is the paradox. You cannot defeat the mind by fighting it. Fighting strengthens it. Osho teaches, don't fight the mind, observe the mind. Awareness dissolves the illusion. Imagine stepping back and simply watching your thoughts as if they were clouds passing through the sky. You stop identifying with them. You stop believing them. You stop arguing with them. You just watch. Suddenly, the mind loses its grip. Not because you forced it, but because you refused to participate. The war cannot continue without your involvement. Silence does not come when the mind stops talking. Silence comes when you stop listening. When you observe the mind instead of becoming the mind, something magical happens. Thoughts lose power, fear loses weight, anxiety loses intensity, the past loses control, the future loses its threat. You return to yourself. Osho says, awareness is the only freedom. Your mind will still speak, but you will no longer obey. You become the witness, and the witness cannot be harmed. Deep truth. You don't need to eliminate your thoughts. You only need to stop believing they are you. The moment you stop identifying with every fear, every negative voice, every old wound echoing inside your head, you step into a different dimension of being, a dimension where thoughts keep flowing, but they cannot touch you, like waves that cannot drown the sky. If this journey touched something inside you, let this space be your silent companion. Subscribe softly, without rush. Your awakening begins when you choose awareness.